You have yet to lose inside the octagon. Is this going to be the toughest fight for you yet?
Every time that you step in there, you are going to face the next most dangerous guy, especially as a champion. For me, I 100% believe this is the best opponent that I've faced to date, but we're not fighting for a grappling title. We are fighting for the UFC title. That's where I am the best. I'm not the best wrestler, I'm not the best grappler or best striker, but when you put all of those things together, and that's the sport we do, I am the best in the world.
I'm a wrestler in MMA, like one of the best wrestlers in MMA. How it's not possible to take him down, to take this guy down. If Robert took him down and Tyron Till scramble and take over, and he took him down as well.
Chimaev is just a fucking cunt. I mean, I was here when he retired from COVID, bro. I was training with him. Like, he's just a fucking cunt. You know, it's like, if you knew, I always say there's guys, if you knew on a personal level you wouldn't like, Chimaev is one of those people if you knew you wouldn't like.
The tension is rising and the anticipation is building as UFC 319 draws near, with just under 10 days to go. Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis are set to collide for the middleweight title in a showdown that has the MMA world on edge. With Fight Night fast approaching, both fighters have shared their honest thoughts about each other, adding even more fuel to an already explosive matchup. Dricus du Plessis talks about Khamzat Chimaev's wrestling by reminding everyone this isn't a wrestling match, it's MMA. While he respects Chimaev's grappling and pressure, du Plessis points out that at the top level, everyone can wrestle. He says the key difference is how you put everything together in a real fight. According to him, this isn't about who's the best wrestler or striker, it's about who's the best at mixing it all, and that's where he believes he holds the advantage.
Khamzat is really known for his relentless pressure. He's an elite grappler as well. What can you exploit against him?
Yeah, I mean, Khamzat obviously world-class wrestling, grappling, but you know, this level of the sport, everybody's world-class. You know, this is not grappling or wrestling, this is MMA. And that's where I'm going to exploit. Is being the best in my... we're not fighting for a wrestling title. We're not fighting for a grappling title. We are fighting for the UFC title. And that's where I am the best. I'm not the best wrestler, I'm not the best grappler or best striker. But when you put all of those things together, if you combine it, and that's the sport we do, I am the best in the world.
Khamzat Chimaev also didn't hold back when discussing Dricus du Plessis' takedown defense. He pointed out that even UFC fighters who aren't known for their wrestling, like Robert Whittaker, have managed to take Dricus down. Khamzat said he's one of the best wrestlers in MMA, so if strikers can get du Plessis to the ground, he doesn't see how it would be a problem for him.
You want to give him credit. You don't want to think that, you know, it's going to be easy, but when you really look at this guy, do you think he's going to be able to stop your takedown, or what do you think you're going to find out when you get in there with him immediately, from just based on what you've seen on film?
Like I told before, and the guys after my fight with Robert, and they said, like, I said to the guys, watch guys, the other UFC fighters who usually strikes, they take him down. I'm a wrestler in MMA, like one of the best wrestlers in MMA. How it's not possible to take him down, to take this guy down. If Robert took him down and Tyron Till scramble and take over, and he took him down as well. But you know, the guys know how which level I am in wrestling and in MMA.
Meanwhile, Dricus du Plessis also admitted he feels the weight of facing Khamzat Chimaev, knowing there's more at stake than just the win. He said going home without the belt isn't even an option in his mind. For him, it's not only about winning, it's about putting on his best performance yet and showing growth since his last fight.
I mean, do you feel any pressure going into this fight?
Yeah, I think for me, pressure is such a big part of the game. I think if you don't feel any pressure, then you don't care enough. You know, for me, the pressure comes from me putting a high expectation for myself, going out there, you know, defending my belt, going back home without it is not an option for me. So the pressure is there, not only to win, but to perform to the best of my abilities and being better than the previous outing. So yeah, of course there's pressure.
However, despite the doubts about his cardio and ability to survive 5 full rounds, Khamzat Chimaev shuts down all doubters. He says he's ready for whatever happens against Dricus du Plessis. Whether the fight ends quickly or goes the full distance, Chimaev promises to go all in like always and come prepared for a war.
Well, even if it's not striking, if it's just, if it's like that, you know, do you think it's going to be, I mean, you've had to work so hard to get here. Do you think that the final step is going to be over quickly, or do you feel like there's going to be a lot of adversity in this fight?
I'm gonna go all in, like always does, so we will see. If it's gonna go fast, it's gonna be fast. But if it goes for 5 rounds, I will be ready. I'm fighting there 5 rounds.
Dricus du Plessis also revealed that he actually asked the UFC to book the Khamzat Chimaev fight in Abu Dhabi, right in Khamzat's territory. He said he's grown used to fighting opponents on their home turf and was willing to do it again. However, the UFC chose Chicago instead, and while it's a new location for him, Dricus made it clear that the venue doesn't matter. He's ready to fight anywhere.
My request was, I asked the UFC, and I begged them actually, I want to fight him either in Abu Dhabi, fight him in, in his neck of the woods, like I have been doing with so many other opponents. And I've grown quite fond of that. So that's what I want to do. I want to fight Abu Dhabi, Saudi, or any of that region, anywhere in that region, fight him there in front of his own crowd, his people. And they said they want to do Chicago. They let me know a couple of weeks later, okay, they're going to do Chicago. And I thought, well, great. It's a place I haven't seen. It's great. And, for me, it really makes no difference where the fight is, to be honest.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Khamzat Chimaev is still dreaming of becoming a 3-division champion as he talks about chasing big goals in the UFC. He says he's open to fighting top names in different weight classes, whether it's moving down to face someone like Jack Della Maddalena or going up to challenge big names like Magomed Ankalaev or Alex Pereira. For Chimaev, it's not just about one belt. He wants to prove he can beat the best across divisions.
I work with the new coach, Coach Carl. I talk about him, go down again, back to my first fights, the 170 or 75, what was that? 170. He said it gives me a couple of months, we're gonna make it. So I don't know who is the champ there, this guy, Australian guy. Yeah, would be a good fight for me and go down fight with him as well.
Yeah.
Could take the belt there. And if I go up and there is Ankalaev and his name, Alex Pereira, they are fighting now. Who is winning can fight for that belt as well. So, yeah.
On the contrary, Dricus du Plessis says he has no plans to move up to light heavyweight just yet, as he believes the middleweight division still needs to be cleaned out. He explains that while moving up has always been a long-term goal, he wants to defend his belt at least 3 times before considering a jump. Dricus points out that the middleweight division is finally starting to shift, with fresh names entering the top 5 after years of little change, making it an exciting time to stay and compete.
When you win at this weight, will you move up to another weight and fight at 205?
Yeah, I think that's been the goal, the long-term goal is to move up. I'm still young in my career, 31 years old. There's a lot of time left, and I'm a firm believer that at least 3 titles defenses. This will be my 3rd before you move up in weight. And then, of course, the division needs to be cleaned out, in my opinion, before you move on to the next division. The middleweight division is looking very, very exciting at the moment. The shuffle in the top 5. I mean, the top 5 has been looking the same for many years. And over the last year, 3 changes. I mean, Robert Whittaker being out of the top 5 for the first time in 8 years. And, I fought everybody in the top 5 up until last week. Now there's 2 new names in the top 5, which means the division is getting alive.
Dricus du Plessis also talked about his weight and revealed that he normally walks around at 225 to 230 pounds when he's not in fight camp. He admitted he was still a bit above the 185-pound limit, but said everything was on track as fight week approached. With 10 days to go before weigh-ins, he shared that the hard part was now beginning, cutting the water weight and making sure his body would safely recover after the cut.
One, what do you walk around at, and then how far away from that 185 are you right now?
I'm still quite a fair bit away from 185, but I do walk around 225 to 30. That's my walk around weight out of camp, of course. And then in camp we started to slim down, and right now my weight's on track. Weight is perfectly where I needed to be this stage of the fight. And we are 10 days away from weigh-ins right now, and this is where the hard part starts. Getting the body ready to cut that water and put it back on safely.
Furthermore, Khamzat Chimaev shuts down all retirement rumors after winning the title. When asked about speculation that he might retire if he becomes champion, Chimaev laughed it off and said he's far from done. He pointed out that Caio Borralho might have started the rumor, but made it clear that he still needs to make money and isn't satisfied with just one belt. Chimaev added that he plans to defend his title or even go after another one. Retirement is not in the plans just yet.
You know, there's this rumor out there that if you win the championship, that you will retire. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I seen the Kaya said, I don't know where he's heard that things. So I need money, bro. This is not enough, right? Just to go for the one title. So I hopefully, if not get some injury or some stuff, they're gonna fight for defend the belt or fight for other belt in Abu Dhabi as well.
On the other hand, Sean Strickland didn't hold back when talking about Khamzat Chimaev, recalling their past training sessions and questioning Chimaev's mentality. He claimed he was present when Chimaev briefly considered retiring due to COVID and sarcastically mocked him during training. Strickland accused Khamzat of choosing sparring partners based on comfort rather than challenge and called him mentally weak, saying he doesn't handle pressure like a true fighter.
Chimaev is just a fucking cunt. I mean, I was here when he retired from COVID, bro. I was training with him. Like, he's just a fucking cunt. You know, it's like, if you knew, I always say there's guys, if you knew on a personal level you wouldn't like, Chimaev is one of those people if you knew you wouldn't like. You know, he'll come in here. There's a video of me, I always like, oh, you're so good. Comes up, understand, you're better than everybody. So just don't hurt people. Like, I'm being sarcastic, like, bro, like, you go and you fucking starch this one-on-one guy when there's like Edmund, there's like high-level UFC fighters, and you're picking the one-on-one fighter because like you think he's the same height as your opponent. No, you're picking him because you're a bitch, dude. Like, it's just, yeah, he's just like, no, he could fight, but like mentally, he's just a weak man. You know, he's just a weak man.
Sean Strickland acknowledges that Khamzat Chimaev's wrestling is rooted in gritty Chechen grappling, and he understands how tough that style can be. However, he believes if Dricus du Plessis can shut down the takedowns and control the pace, he has a solid shot at taking over the fight and winning convincingly.
So those little Chechen fucks, I don't want to say Chechen, he's not Chechen, he's Swedish, but those little Chechen whore, like, dude, they can grapple. And like someone like me, who I've been training with these fuckers for years, I usually could counter wrestle and grapple them. So I just don't know if fucking Dricus can be able to counter wrestle him.
Yeah.
But if he can, I think he wins all hands down, you know. I mean, I sparred the fucking Chechen whore, like hands down, I think Dricus wins.
A few months back, Sean Strickland didn't hold back on Khamzat Chimaev. He claimed Khamzat only looks dangerous in the first round, but fades under pressure. Sean also called him a fake Muslim, accusing him of not living by the values he preaches. According to Sean, Khamzat puts on an act for the cameras and lacks real heart when things get tough. In his view, Chimaev is all hype with no true grit.
So, Chimaev can grapple, but he's kind of like a weak man. From someone who's trained with him, like, he's usually tough for like one round, and then the moment like you shut him down, the little fucking Chechen whore comes out in him. He starts like, "Where's my dictator daddy at? I gotta save him."
Did you say that to him?
Oh yeah, no, he's a fucking cunt, dude. Like, no, like, dude, Chimaev's it's like you're talking to like just a retard, you know? It's like he doesn't speak like human. I think he's just such an
English is his second
But no, I
language.
think he's just such like an insecure man that like maybe he's stupid. I don't fucking know. But yeah, no. I mean, he's just another phony ass fucking Muslim. But I mean, like, again, dude, I can't even stand Chimaev, bro. Like, Chimaev is like the definition of a weak fucking man. Like, such a fucking Chechen whore.
Daniel Cormier said Khamzat Chimaev deserved to be the favorite going into the fight with Dricus du Plessis, especially after how dominant he looked against Robert Whittaker. He mentioned the betting odds had Chimaev around -180 and felt that was a reasonable line, but Cormier also admitted that Dricus had earned respect with his recent performances, and it would be a mistake to overlook him.
Who do you think right now it favors? Because I know you can't you can't make obviously a prediction, but who do you think it favors right now? Because looking at the way Khamzat just disposed of Robert Whittaker.
Robert Whittaker was crazy. So I think, and DDP is gonna be like, what the hell, dude? I think when the line comes out, and I'm pretty sure it's out already, you guys can check it. Khamzat will probably be a favorite. And I think it's because of what you see.
Yeah, minus 180.
Khamzat is minus 180. And I think just when you look at it, that's probably
pretty big
about right. But I don't know, man. I'm done doubting Dricus du Plessis.
Moreover, UFC legend Daniel Cormier admitted that his view of Dricus du Plessis has shifted. At first, he didn't see DDP as technically sharp, but over time, he realized how effective and dangerous du Plessis really is. He said DDP fights in an unusual way, but still manages to win big fights. Cormier was especially impressed by how du Plessis dealt with Israel Adesanya and Sean Strickland, and now believes his size, strength, and unorthodox approach make him a serious threat.
DDP and Khamzat Chimaev.
Yeah.
Who emerges from that?
But DDP, man, he is something else, bro. So long we thought he just was bad. He's not. He's really good. He's like really, really good.
Did you ever see that thing with him and like he's like they show like a clips of Homer Simpson like doing everything wrong and somehow winning, and they kind of show like the same.
Good, dude.
That is
bro.
hilarious.
He was just I was like, okay, so Izzy's gonna just counter him. He's too good. And he got Izzy bad. He was all over Izzy. I mean, he put it on Sean Strickland bad.
Yeah.
That last time. Like,
you gotta respect that style.
He's good, man. He's so big, he's so strong, and he's good.
Daniel Cormier believes that Khamzat Chimaev would likely take control early with his fast and aggressive style. However, he felt the fight could shift if it went on longer. In his view, Dricus du Plessis was more built for a 5-round war, while Khamzat still had to prove he could keep that same pressure and energy all the way through.
Now, Khamzat, in a sprint, can't stay with him. DDP can't stay with him. But I think if the fight goes long, it starts to get interesting. But I think Dricus is there for 25 minutes. Khamzat needs to be there for 25 minutes also.
Shara Bullet Magomedova also gave a cold prediction for what comes after Dricus du Plessis faces Khamzat Chimaev. Instead of breaking down the matchup itself, Shara focused on the emotional fallout, claiming that once Dricus loses, fans won't dwell on it. He said people would offer just 2 seconds of silence before moving on, completely overshadowed by Chimaev's power and presence.
Very soon there's going to be a championship fight between Dricus du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev for the middleweight title. How do you think the fight will play out, and who do you think was going to get his hand raised? As I said before, Dricus is in very good, strong hands in this fight, and we'll make sure to remember his name with 2 seconds of silence afterwards.
Meanwhile, Kenny Florian highlights Khamzat Chimaev's explosiveness early in fights, calling him one of the most dangerous first-round fighters in UFC history. He recalls a conversation with Brian Petrie, who made that bold claim, and Florian admits it's tough to disagree. He points to Chimaev's fast domination of Robert Whittaker as proof, noting that whether it's with strikes or grappling, Khamzat has the power to finish a fight before it even gets going.
And Brian Petrie and I were talking about this, but Petrie was saying he's probably the best first-round fighter in UFC history, and he could be right. And people forget, we just saw him, crush the jaw of Robert Whittaker. Yes, he could do that as well. So he can take you down and maul you. He can submit you. And he can knock your ass out on the feet as well. And he can do it in a blink of an eye. That's how explosive Khamzat Chimaev is.
Kenny Florian shares his thoughts about how the fight plays out if one of them survives the early storm. He describes the opening rounds as pure chaos when a pressure-heavy fighter like Chimaev is involved, but says the real test begins if it goes deeper. For Florian, a hard-fought decision win would say more about a fighter's all-around game than a quick finish. What keeps him hooked is the unpredictability of how their contrasting styles might evolve over the course of 5 rounds.
If DDP is able to survive the early rounds against that whirlwind juggernaut in Khamzat Chimaev, that's when the fight gets really interesting to me. And I said this, and I've been thinking about this a lot. If Khamzat is able to win the fight by decision, that would be more impressive to me than in an early finish against DDP. But dude, that fight can go so many different ways. That's what makes this sport and the UFC so intriguing. I can't wait for that, damn.
However, Reinier de Ridder leaned slightly in favor of Dricus du Plessis, mainly due to the way DDP starts strong and keeps up the pressure early. He explained that it's still hard to judge exactly where Khamzat Chimaev stands, especially since his fight with Robert Whittaker ended so quickly. While de Ridder acknowledged that Chimaev might have improved a lot since then, he felt there were still too many unanswered questions to confidently predict how he would perform in a full fight.
Dricus is a guy who doesn't really hold anything back anyway in the first couple of rounds, so that's why I feel like Dricus is might be the favorite in my mind, but we'll see. We haven't seen Khamzat as active. We didn't see a lot from him in the Whittaker fight because he took him down, stayed on top, and then finished him pretty quickly. So I'm curious, maybe he evolved a lot as well. We don't really know where Khamzat is at, because he might have just really upped his game and really evolved as a fighter as well.
Yoel Romero also expected a very close fight, but believed Khamzat Chimaev's elite wrestling could be the difference maker. He felt Chimaev's control over high-level opponents gave him a real edge. To Romero, this was the type of matchup where one fighter's standout skill might shift the outcome entirely.
Who do you think wins between him and Khamzat? Who would you pick in that fight? It's a hard one, isn't it?
It's very difficult, but 16-40 chance. 16% for Chimaev and 40% for Duplessis. Yeah, that's a way.
So you think Chimaev? You're kind of slightly leaning towards Chimaev.
Yes.
Why? Why do you think?
Wrestling. The wrestling for Chimaev right now is very, very dangerous. Yes, I see the move where he make it. We take it. Robert fight is another level. It's an Olympic level.
So that's all we have from today's video, and hopefully you have enjoyed it. Share your thoughts about Khamzat versus DDP's matchup in the comments section, and subscribe to our channel to get more updates about their upcoming clash.